Hey everyone, this is the Noblars here, and today in this video I'm going to be showing you guys my custom battle damage clone commander, Cody. Now for the longest time, Cody was my favorite commander just because he was orange, and orange is my favorite color, and it kind of went hand in hand, so he was my favorite character for a while. I'm not too sure who my favorite is now, but Cody is definitely high up on the list. So this figure is definitely one of my older customs. Probably, I don't really know what time period I can give it. Definitely 5 years or older. Actually, no, I take that back. I might have made this one when I had my old channel when I first started. So if that's the case, it's probably about 4 years old. But anyway, I've used some techniques on this figure that I definitely do not use anymore, which I will show you. And I left this figure pretty much how it was. Again, with the older figures that I've tried to clean up and put on eBay. I'm going to fix things that are broken, and then other than that, unless there's a lot of paint missing and it just looks terrible, then I will redo that. But I'm going to leave them the way I originally made them. So I've already mentioned this before in my old video, that if you have one of my newer customs and one of the older ones, you'll be able to see the difference between years ago and now, and just the progression of it. So with this figure, I've pretty much left him the way he was. I don't believe anything has actually broken off this figure as far as I know. There might have been a couple of things, but I don't know because I don't have the original info about him. But anywho, I hope you guys like Commander Cody, because I'm going to show you guys this video. Keep in mind that it is battle damage, so if you do see stuff that's out of whack, it's supposed to be like that. And then also keep in mind that this is one of my earlier kind of customs, so my skills weren't as in tuned as they are now. So we will go ahead and get to the video. I'll take out the weapons of the figure. This pistol is kind of hard to get out. There we go. I made this the holster out of leather, so it doesn't. It's kind of rigid, so it's not going to give as much. If you haven't noticed, but I have cleaned up my desk. It was quite atrocious, and I needed to clean up my space. Don't mind the purple tape. This was getting kind of heavy, and it broke. That's why all of it was over there. So I used duct tape instead of packing tape, which is clear and it looked good, but purple duct tape, it's holding it up, so I'm not going to be too picky. At least my shelf is painted and it looks organized. That when I have more time, I'll get to that. But back to the figure. So alrighty, this figure it's an older figure, so it's kind of, you know, you're going to see things that I don't normally do. Some stuff I might bring back, but I know his knee pads weren't, they're kind of a smaller knee pad, kind of a triangle, so I made those knee pads as best as I could with this figure. You can see how they're kind of a triangle shape. I'm not too sure what I was thinking back then, but I'm assuming I was trying to copy the pictures that I saw. And this was back when I didn't actually put the fabric for the any of the fabric on the figure, so he doesn't have this piece underneath the knee pad. Now, the only reason I use that for fabric is, one, it actually probably is fabric. The joints in between the armor, when you put on the suit, I'm assuming is a black undersuit with the armor on top of it. So I use fabric just to be more realistic that, and fabric won't scratch off on the legs. And legs are kind of difficult to paint, and keep the paint on there. So fabric doesn't scratch off. As you can see, he does not have fabric on his legs, but it's held up for about 4 years, so props for that. His feet are muddied and battle damaged. Now I will make a tutorial on how to battle damage figures. It can go really wrong if you overdo it. You can underdo it. There's certain techniques I use with the brush in order to make it look battle damaged. I will do that. I have a long list of tutorials to make, but trust me, I will get to that. Again, with moving back onto the armor, I have this piece. Normally is painted, but this is a piece of metal. I honestly don't remember what Cody looks like from these old images, but I'm assuming that popped out, or it might have just been a marking that I wanted to have it stand out by making it metal. The centerpiece here is very different because I use two pieces of metal. I use a piece of metal that's kind of like a hinge, and I glue it to, I'll use my hand. I glue it to the back of my hand, so if you're looking straight on the figure, it's like that. Turn it sideways, and there's another piece. So what I did was I bent it out, glued where my thumb would be onto the figure itself, and then the actual centerpiece would be glued on this side, and then I would just push it down like that. So It's kind of hard to explain. I'll just show you. I don't want to break it. I'm afraid I'm going to break it. It basically looks like that. This was a simple way for me to put it on there and still have the shape of it. So I put a piece of metal, like I said, like the hinge, and then glued this to it, and then I can just push it on like that. That way you can still keep the shape, and you don't have to worry about bending it when you push it on when you glue it. This is actually a bigger piece. I don't know why I made it that big, but that's the old technique that I use. So there it is. Okay, so moving on to the chest here. Normally I would have painted all this on. I guess I tried to go for the extra detail by putting metal on. He does have 3 of these metal packs right here. I don't believe he had any other ones just because I can see the battle damage underneath. So he had these 3. Now he's kind of known for his marking, so he has this kind of a sunrise 3 stripes on his chest. These again also are metal, if you can see from this side angle, those pieces are metal. Now chest chest metal, I didn't do that often, but if you can see, his chest has 2 separate pieces of metal that I painted orange and then put some rankings on there, and he does have these dots on this side, so stuff you see like that is accurate to the figure. Move on to the arms. He just has the elbow pad, shoulder pad, and then the gauntlet on his wrist right here. And this is back before I painted the whole arms black first. Now I'll do a tutorial again, like I said, it's going to be down the road, but a tutorial from start to finish, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But I do paint the arms completely black beforehand, and yes, there is some repainting involved, but it looks a lot better than this. I guess I was trying to keep it so, because he only has the markings here. The white you see is armor, but it's just not the painted armor. But move on to the other side. Got the same thing, battle damage. And this was a little bit trickier to get battle damage on the painted parts, but it was a lot of fun to do, and it looks really good if you can get actual armor like that to be battle damage. This is metal, so this is the actual metal itself is worn, so you can see the shine kind of through it, which I think is super awesome. Moving on to the back, he does have, I just painted the back. I didn't go too fancy with this. Again, this is back in the day, guys, keep in mind. And the thermal detonator actually has metal. Those orange stripes you see are 3 metal stripes. You can see from the angle if it pops out a little bit at you. Moving on to the helmet, got some nice detailing on the back of the helmet. His visor, he had an antenna, but I battle damage, so he doesn't have one. And then these 2 awesome tan pads. I have no idea what they're for, what they are, but they look amazing on figures, and I probably will use those in my new squad on either the heavy gunner or the flamethrower guy. Not too sure. But one of the coolest thing is about these helmets of these figures is if you notice that it goes straight through. So the Lego figure itself came with a black head, so it looks like there's a visor. Now what I used to do is I would take soda cans, that's the metal that I use. I would take the bright side of it, and then I would shove it up into the helmet, push the head on, which in a sense it locks the head in, so you can never really take the head out unless you like destroy your helmet. But it gives it this amazing, I'm gonna try to hold this up into the light. It gives it an amazing like tint. If you can see, it kind of might be hard to see in this video. I'll hold it at an angle. That blue, it gives his visor an amazing blue shine, which is just incredible. It's so cool. I wish the other customs or the other helmets had this feature so I could still do this technique to make the visor shine like this. It looks so much cooler in person. It's not shining. It's kind of hard to get in the right light and angle. Maybe right there. But you get what I'm saying, guys. The helmet is amazing. There's actually some good pictures. Well, they're kind of blurry, but on my eBay, there are some pictures of this guy because he is on eBay right now. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to see that before the auction ends. It's about a week long, so by the time this video is out, the figure will still be there. Go check it out. I'll put a link down below. Weapons. Okay, I don't have much time, but weapons, very simple. This is pretty much all just wood. Seriously, the whole thing is just wood and some metal pieces that I cut out. Got some painted on electronics. Now I would probably put them on with metal. And then a little pistol. So, those are his weapons, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hitchhike it. God bless, and I will see you guys later in my next video. Bye.